It's been a long time coming. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is insane. I did not think I'd be back for what seemed like forever, and that's mostly because I've been working. So let me give you a little bit of an update as to what's going on. If you follow my social media pages, I have been working at Universal Studios Hollywood for the past year and 3 months now, and it has been great. I have been meeting a ton of people and have met a lot of people since I started. It has been an incredible journey, and I have been more social since. When I first started YouTube and I was growing up, I really didn't know how to meet people. I was socially inept, let's put it that way. I wasn't talking to people like a normal person would. I was very shy, I was very introverted. And once I started this job, and over the course of a year, I have been a lot more out there. I've been more dancey. I've been more out there like, hello everybody, welcome. It's been great to build up my character, or build up my social aspect of myself, let's put it that way, yeah. And I'm still awkward, like anyone is, but at least with me personally, I love myself a little more than I used to, even though I am making mistakes still. I'm still learning from a lot of the stuff that I do. And so for this job to be a huge part of my life is something that I've been grateful for and will always be grateful for. So that's a little bit of an update as to what's going on with my life. But you're probably asking yourself, why the hell is he back? Is he doing a reaction video? No, I am not doing a reaction video by any means. I probably won't do one at all, and I thought about that very, very much so. It's not my thing anymore. I kind of want to just branch out and do different things, like this video today. This video is meant to be about my vinyls. So recently, over this past year, I've been collecting records. Records have been a thing that I have loved. When I started, growing up, I loved old things like typewriters and record players. I always thought record players were so cool. You can grab a record of any kind that you want, you can drop that needle, and you can listen to the entire thing, get off of your phone, and enjoy what you're listening to. Rather than having Spotify, which I still do have, but not really paying attention to it, it's more of just background noise. You're not really listening to the lyrics or listening to the musical cues that go with a certain song or certain score of a film. It's just not there. When I'm listening to a song on a record player, listening to a score, it sounds normal to me. It sounds like something that I can put my time into. And so this is why I wanted to make this video, and this is my vinyl collection. Over the past year, I've collected many vinyls, mostly movie scores with very few artists in between, and I still have more vinyls coming in the mail. I will update as it goes when I get more. I'm not gonna do a whole other vinyl collection in the future. This is the one that you will come back to if you want to check them out. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is the American Hustle original motion picture soundtrack. This is the songs, not any score. There's very few score in here. I think there's only one song that is the score, but a lot of this is music from the movie, 2 LPs, one red and one blue. This particular soundtrack has a lot of amazing songs in it, from Jeep's Blues by Duke Ellington to A Horse We Know Named by America. You have I Feel Love by Donna Summer, all the way to Papa Was a Rolling Stone by The Temptations. A lot of good music on this. A lot of good 70s music. That's kind of what it's aiming for. This is a Record Store Day exclusive, but as you can see, I didn't get it at Record Store Day. I just picked it up on Amazon because they did not sell enough of these. So that's why it is on Amazon. Next up, we have the A Quiet Place original motion picture soundtrack. The score by Marco Beltrami. This is a 1 LP. And it is a really good score. It's one of my favorite scores of 2018. As you can see on the front, you have the sound, but it is the family of 4 in the middle. I think that is genius. And then on the back, you have the farm as well as the silos. I really love what they did with this particular cover. And with Mondo and Death Waltz, you can tell, a lot of these are from Mondo. Keep this in mind. I highly recommend getting it on vinyl. It does sound good. It is a red with black swirl in the middle, and it has the light bulbs from the film, one black light bulb and one red light bulb. So when you flip over, you can see that. It's red on the outside and black on the inside, like my soul. Next up, we have the Arcade Fire LP. This is an interesting one because when I was at Record Store Day, I was just kind of listening to people throughout the line, and I was looking at the list of albums that they were selling for Record Store Day, and one of them in particular that caught my interest was this one because they're numbered actually. I have the 3,215th pressing of this out of, I honestly don't even know how many. I totally forgot how many were pressed for this event, but these I believe were gone. I'm not so sure, but I love that it's numbered. It's really gorgeous. It's sort of like a cardboardy kind of feel with it. This is one of their first releases. I listened to the album, I think it was like later, about a week later, because I was so exhausted from Record Store Day itself that I passed out. It was one of the first times I ever stayed in line that long for something, and so these are also some Record Store Day stuff. Next up on this, we have the Arctic Monkeys album, Suck It and See. This is a very underrated album. I don't know if a lot of people have heard about this, because Arctic Monkeys, they have AM, but that album is completely well known for every fucking person in existence. If you've known Arctic Monkeys. When Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino came out, which we'll get to in a second, a lot of people, they honestly didn't really appreciate that one, but I personally love Tranquility Base. There are like very few songs on that album, like 2 or 3 I do not like at all, but the rest of the album is great. But this one I recommend to people if they want to get a start on Arctic. Actually, not really. There are a lot of other ones. She's, Thunderstorms, Black Treacle, Brick by Brick, The Hellcats Man. God, no, a lot of these songs are fucking great. Yeah, I highly recommend getting this album if you have not. They give you a digital code every Arctic Monkey album, or from Domino, I believe. Yeah, they give you digital codes for every vinyl that you buy from them. So if you want to listen to it on your phone and you bought it, well, there you go. You have it. Next up, we have the one that I will never open ever. I will get a second copy for that, and that is the Arctic Monkeys Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. This one is very, very exclusive. They were selling this at the Los Angeles concert that I went to at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was very funny because not a lot of people got this particular vinyl, but they had boxes full of them. This is a gold heavyweight vinyl, and the gold sells on eBay for about like $100, $150. It's pretty expensive. I haven't seen a copy that is under $100. So this is one of the reasons why I will not open it by any means. I would love to listen to it, but I'm not going to, just for the sake of being able to keep it in its original wrapping. This is one I will cherish very much so. I listened to this album repeatedly before the concert, and it was so worth it. I still messed up a lot of the lyrics because the way Alex phrases things when he sings is very much like this.
Practicing a magic trick. And my thoughts got room as you talk down to the last of your big gun.
I love this album so much. I'm very happy that I own it, and I cannot wait to get a second copy to listen to, because to be honest with you, I do not want to open this at all. That's the last thing that I want to do. The next one that we have here is one that I listen to so much of, and that is the Baby Driver double LP, music from the motion picture. This movie was my life when it came out. I watched every trailer, every clip, every song. I made a Spotify playlist trying to figure out everything when it came out at South by Southwest. I was trying so hard to find out every song. Once I had them in order, I would listen to them like crazy. And then when this came out, I went and took a bus to Amoeba just to get this at Amoeba. I did not want to order it on Amazon. I went and I picked this up in person myself. I came home and I played it on my Fisher-Price record player at the time. I don't know if my records got messed up over time because of it, but this is one of my favorite vinyls that I own. I put this in the front every time when I had my original place to put my records. This is something that I absolutely love to listen to. I love this album so much, and I've listened to it I don't know how many times on my phone, and I've listened to it countless times on this record. With Baby Driver being so relevant, I decided that because this came out, I had to pick it up. Baby Driver Volume 2, The Score for a Score. It's 1 LP. This is just the score from the movie, but what I don't like about it is that they have audio from the movie on this. It's something that I kind of got used to, but at the same time is very iffy. They do have some amazing tracks like the Tequila Baby Driver mix, but one of my favorite tracks on this is the Hocus Pocus Baby Driver mix. It has audio from the movie that works and is like in sync with the actual track. I love that. And plus, I mean, the artwork is gorgeous. I mean, look at that. If you want to pick this up, I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, it's out there. You know, you can get it if you want. I was following this movie closely even after it came out because it was, oh God, it almost fell. And it was one of those things that I loved listening to. And I'm glad that people know about the movie, because if they didn't, I would be extremely disappointed. Next one that we have here is also from Record Store Day, and that is the Ben Kweller Shaw Shaw vinyl. As you can see, I have not opened it because this particular one was pressed very limited. This was one of these vinyls that I saw when I was looking at the list, and I had to pick it up. And I have to thank an incredible person in line. I cannot remember his name right now. When I was talking about it throughout the night, I said I really wanted it. This was the one that I wanted. This man was like second or third in line. Toward the beginning of the morning, when we were writing down the list of stuff, that was one of the things I put on my list. And sure enough, when I went to the front and I saw that all of these were gone, literally about 10, 15 people in line, they were gone. The amazing person in line picked up one of these for me. This is something that I will always have in my heart for this man. I will see him again at Record Store Day next year just so I can thank him again for this. This is one of these purchases that I never thought that I would have gotten, but it was because of this man that I picked it up. I listened to the album on Spotify. I loved the album. To be able to have it and not open it up, because it says that it was pressed on a white vinyl and it's 180 gram LP, so it's 1 LP. And there's a download card in here as well, but this is the first time it's been on vinyl since 2002, like it says on the sticker, and I'm very, very happy that I own it, but I will listen to it on Spotify no matter what, because I am not crazy by any means to open this up. And it's on eBay and everything, and people are trying to sell it, but I mean, I'm not gonna sell this. No way. Next up, we have the Blue Planet 2 original television soundtrack. This was also at Record Store Day. No one picked this up at all from what I saw. I was, think, one of the only people to pick it up, but this score is, it sounds amazing. It's very underrated, especially if you love scores. I'd recommend listening to this. I think it was pressed on blue vinyl, like a dark blue. On the back, as you can see also, it's like a jellyfish and like, whatever it's called. I totally forgot. It escapes me. Next one we have here is from Mondo, and this is one that I picked up that I was surprised it even got restocked. Then it got restocked again recently, so I'm not as surprised. This is the Coraline vinyl, and this is by Bruno Kweller, with an original song by They Might Be Giants. This is a 2 LP, and this, I believe, is the, if I'm not mistaken, so I can look at it through here, because I don't want to be wrong. I do not want to be wrong when I look at this. This is a blue. Yeah, okay, so this is a blue vinyl with a swirl of purple. One of the things that is kind of hard when you have Mondo records is to put them back in the sleeves. You kind of have to find the right little section, like a little crevice. And once I found it, there it is. This is one vinyl that I got that I was honestly very happy about. The score is amazing. If you have not seen Coraline, what are you doing with your life? Coraline is a great film. It's a great stop motion film. Probably a lot better than a lot of the other ones that people know about. Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry, it's very overrated. I don't hate the movie. It's just, again, very overrated. This one will never be, because this is a fantastic film, and it's not by Disney. I'm really gonna regret saying this as I progress with this particular vinyl collection, because on the next one we have Disney's chilling, Thrilling Sounds of the Haunted House. This was one that I actually didn't own. I didn't pick this one up. This was from the collection or sea of records that my sister brought back from her grandma's house, and this struck me because this actually, no, hold up. This wasn't from that, no. Okay, so this is actually kind of crazy. An amazing person on Reddit from Secret Santa, I think last year or 2 years ago, I said that I wanted a record player, and his buddy owned a record shop or something, and so he fixed up the Fisher-Price record player for me, and I put a ton of different musical Disney vinyls in there. It's literally just sounds of a haunted house, like creaking floorboards or a dripping faucet. You know, that's really all that is. So that's fun. First, from Waxwork, I have a couple from Waxwork. This is the double LP of Drag Me to Hell. The score is by Christopher Young. This is a great score. It sounds amazing on vinyl. There are some crackles in this one, but it sounds amazing. This is the, I think it was pressed on Hellfire vinyl, the Hellfire variant. I think on the inside, it's the, yeah, it has the liner notes in it with the woman going, so that is the double LP of Drag Me to Hell. There's not a lot to say about this one. All I can say is that it's a good score, but there's not much really to go off of that. So yeah, there you go. Next one we have here is one I ordered on Amazon back on Christmas last year. This is the Foster the People Torches album. This was one that I listened to every day since like years ago in the summer when this came out. It's a very special place in my heart with this vinyl. I listened to a lot of these songs, and it was like, it was something that I needed at the time, and so when I listen to this, I get very nostalgic. It's something that I really love. Next up is the Get Out. Score is by Michael Abels. It's a 2 LP, and it is pressed on a Garden Party vinyl, which is green. It's all green, with little hints of white in there, if you can see it. This is the first one to be in a sleeve. Waxwork puts the sleeves in a very like newer, special ones, the ones that they put the most time into. It's really gorgeous, to be honest with you. I look at this and I'm like, damn, that is a gorgeous vinyl. And on the back, as you can see, it's the House on Fire. Sorry, my phone glare is going to really be annoying. It is the horns with the House on Fire and everything like that. But it's a great vinyl, pressed really well. It sounds amazing, and the artwork is great too. It's very creepy. Next one we have here is the Guardians of the Galaxy Deluxe Vinyl Edition. This one I just ordered recently from Disney Music Emporium. They had a sale after Black Friday, Cyber Monday. This is one that I love listening to. I've been listening to the Guardians soundtrack recently, and I love the score by Tyler Bates. I think it's really, really great. But to have all of the songs in this as well, there's a lot of crackling in this one. I don't really like that. I think there's a lot of dust on it. I have to try and clean it eventually. They have Awesome Mix on the first LP, and then they have the score on the second LP. It's just pressed on regular black. Yeah, but the little stickers in the middle where they show all the songs, those are different colors, so that's, you know, that's really great. And next one we have is one I got from Comic-Con, the very first time I ever went to Comic-Con. This is the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Deluxe Vinyl Edition. This one has the songs from Awesome Mix Volume 2 on the first LP, and then on the second LP it has 2 songs from it. I don't like that. It kind of sucks that they had to do that. There's not much you can do. And then they have the score on the second LP, as they usually do. And then when you open it, there that is. I'm not really opening a lot of the ones in the middle. They don't really have a lot of stuff in it. Disney has this tendency to release their vinyls in these sleeves, which I don't like. These like really paper-esque sleeves where they put the vinyl in. I don't like that at all. Again, it kind of ruins it. So you have to buy your own sleeves if you are looking to collect. These next two are ones that I ordered, and they are the new Halloween. You're probably confused as to why I did that, but that's because these are both pressed on 2 different colors, 2 different variants. The first one is the Michael Myers variant, and the second one is the pumpkin orange variant. I'm gonna show them to you right now just so I can kind of get this out of the way. Boom, his face. So this one is the Michael Myers vinyl. This is pressed on like a red, white, and blue. This was the Waxwork Edition. Waxwork Edition. And the second one is from Rough Trade, which is what John Carpenter was trying to sell on his particular page on Instagram. That's how I found this particular copy. It was restocked after it was high demand. And then this is the pumpkin orange. Yeah, I didn't want to order a lot of the Halloweens on the pumpkin orange. I felt like it was very, very cliche. So every one that came out, I just got the one that was not orange. Everybody seemed to get the one that was sold out in orange, which I don't understand at all. I think it's such a waste of time. That was a little bit embarrassing when I did that. But yeah, I think it's such a waste of time to get the same orange over and over and over again. So I don't really like that. I just realized that at the end of the day, you should just get different colors for your different vinyls, not just like stick with the same old, same old. Because then once you get something new, it, you know, changes your taste a little bit. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's kind of fun to do. I totally forgot also to show the other ones after this, because this was just in the sea of vinyls that I have here, and I'm also going by order as we speak. So I'm gonna go in here, and this is the Halloween Collector's Edition. This is the Halloween Collector's Edition box. On the side it says Halloween, it says Complete Soundtrack Collection, and then on this is boom, Halloweens 1 through 5 on vinyl. Some are I think all of these, no, there are no double LPs in here to be seen. These are all 1 LPs. There are not huge soundtracks at all. They're literally fitting on 1 LP, which is why it's able to fit in this box. On the front, it's Michael when he's an adult, and then on the back is Michael when he's a kid. So that's really cool to see. It's a really gorgeous box, by the way. They don't sell these anymore. They're completely out of stock. This is one of the reasons why I ordered it on like the second it released. So yeah, the Halloween collection. You're welcome there. I'm not gonna show you all of them in there. It takes time. I know this is a vinyl collection, but it's very long as is, so we're just gonna keep it going. Next up we have, if I can get this out, is the Hot Fuzz LP. This is from Mondo again. This is the Crown Ale variant. It's a really big suite, like it's a 23-minute suite that David Arnold put on this particular vinyl. It fits the entire LP. It's crazy. And then it has some of the score on the other side of the LP that are like 2 or 3 minutes long each track, and there are like 5 tracks in there, so, you know. That's Hot Fuzz for you. I really wanted this one. It was one of the first ones I ordered from Mondo ever. Thank you, Edgar Wright. I love you for that. Next up, we have the Hellraiser vinyl. This is pressed on only 1 LP. And this one, I mean, it's a classic horror score. I love horror scores. Well, some more than others, but this one I really love. It's very epic. It's very out there. Originally, Goblin was supposed to do the score for this film, but then Christopher Young came in and he killed it. This score sounds incredible. on vinyl. It's pressed really well, it's beautiful. Death Waltz did an incredible job with this pressing. And then on the inside, as you can see, is the people from the film, from Pinhead to every other creepy person. I don't like looking back on this movie because I remember watching this movie by myself and I was just freaking out. It is a very gory movie, so keep that in mind if you watch it for the first time. Next up, we have the Jurassic Park double LP by John Williams. This is pressed on, I believe, a red and white splatter. I'll show it to you right now just so I can also remember for myself. Or it's a swirl. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's this particular variant. It's 180 gram also, I think, like every other Mondo release. So that's also something to have in your brain there. These particular vinyls always sell out, as they do. So this being Jurassic Park, it makes sense. That's the cover. And then when you open it like this, it extends so you get like a full view of what it looks like in the forest. And then on the inside, it shows, I believe, the T-Rex with the Jurassic Park on the inside. The lighting is awful, so you're not able to see the full thing. I don't have the first Jurassic World, but I do have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom double LP by Michael Giacchino. This is pressed on the Indoraptor splatter, or the Indoraptor like vinyl, basically. It's the variant Indoraptor. This film looks gorgeous, but isn't great story-wise. I have a lot of problems with this particular movie. I own it because I own all the Jurassics, but I'm not a fan of this movie. I hate that I'm not a fan of it, but again, the movie, it looks gorgeous, it's directed beautifully, but the writing is garbage. Next up, we have the La La Land original motion picture score by Justin Hurwitz. On the front, it shows all the credits and stuff. There's nothing really fancy about this by any means, but it just sounds great on vinyl. It fits the whole vinyl aspect, especially with the soundtrack. It makes total sense. So when you go into this, listen to it on vinyl if you can. It sounds gorgeous. Another one that I also got from Record Store Day was the Los Lobos versus the Shins. This one is Fear. Yeah, this is the Fear. It's the Shins doing the song The Fear that they made, and they flipped it so it's a different version, and then this third song, The Fear, as well, was Los Lobos' version, their cover. So that's all on this one LP. Next up, we have the Magnolia 3 LP. This is the most expensive vinyl that I own. I love Magnolia. It's one of my favorite P.T. Anderson films, but the score is great. John Bryan. Oh, I love the score. It's so good. All the songs are by Amy Mann on the first LP, and then the other two LPs are all by John Bryan. And the score is long. It's like almost like 45, 50 minutes of score on these other two LPs. It's packaged really well, and the vinyls are gorgeous. Next up, we have, one of the Magnolia LPs almost slipped out there. Give me a second to fix this. Next up, we have another one from Mondo. This is the Master of None Season 2 soundtrack. Actually, a really great collection of songs in these two LPs. They're pressed on dark blue vinyl. I'm telling you, it sounds great. And then when you open it up, it shows them walking through to the wedding. This material feels really nice for a cover. Every other track in here is great. Netflix works with Lakeshore Records, so they're able to release this, and Mondo's usually the first one that presses these things. So when it comes to the story, when I said where the guy on Reddit got me these records, another one that he did get me was the Singing in the Rain and Easter Parade double LP. I usually listen to Steppin' Out with My Baby and Singin' in the Rain, the first tracks on each of these LPs. I don't listen to this one at all. It's just good to have it though, if I'm in that musical mood. Next up is from Waxwork. This is the Night of the Living Dead double LP. This sounds gorgeous. This is one of the best sounding vinyls that I have ever owned. It sounds so good. They did a phenomenal job. I remember just listening to it and was blown away. There's another one that I also have that I picked up recently that I will talk about. And if you want to pick up a good horror score or just score in general that is pressed by a certain company, pick this one up. This sounds so good. Waxwork did an incredible job with this particular release. It's so good. And the artwork is gorgeous too, and on the back it's the same thing. It's pressed on like this light green vinyl, I believe, that variant. So Night of the Living Dead. It's a really good score. I highly recommend it. Next up, we also have another one from Mondo. This one is the Over the Garden Wall single LP, the Harvest Festival variant. It has every song from the actual show. My cousin Spencer showed me this show when it was on Hulu, and I think it still is on Hulu. It's a fucking phenomenal show. I highly recommend it. It's a mini-series. There's no more seasons after or before. Like, this is just a mini-series, and every song is well written, so good, and that's what it looks like if I can get the glare in here so you can see that. It's really great. It's a really good sounding one too. It's not the best one that Mondo has pressed, but it's still great to own. I love listening to this every now and then. and I just love the way the songs are. It's one of my quiet favorites. Next up here, Peter and the Wolf, which also has the Sorcerer's Apprentice on this. This is one that I own that I actually like listening to. It's like kind of listening to like a radio show. Even with it being super scratched, it still sounds good. So I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. There is no sleeve on this at all. It's just sitting in cardboard, but it still sounds good. So, you know, good for it. This is the Peter Pan picture vinyl. It's upside down, but there you go, the Peter Pan picture vinyl. This has the entire score by Oliver Wallace, and it is great. I love having this on vinyl finally. I'm really glad I own it. This was also from the Cyber Monday sale that Disney Music Emporium had. It is just great, you know? It's a great score to listen to if you love old Disney scores, especially the soundtracks that are before the 70s. And Oliver Wallace, who also did Lady and the Tramp and Alice in Wonderland, I'd recommend picking this up if they had Alice in Wonderland with this particular kind of track without the picture vinyl, but if they had a release with it, I'd pick it up in a heartbeat. Next up is the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. This one was unexpected. I did not think I was gonna have this at all, and it's interesting because I haven't listened to this. I've listened to certain songs like, you know, let me open it up, see if there's anything on here. Do I? No. Well, Money is one of the songs I listened to in full. That's really all there was, really. I haven't listened to this album yet. Hate me for that, I know. I didn't pick this one up. This was just one that I found that I thought would be very valuable, so I kept it because I thought, why the hell not? The ones I've listened to on here are Money and Us and Them. That's about it. That's really all that I've listened to. Next up, we have the Pink Floyd The Wall album. I believe this is a double LP, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. Leave those cats alone. That's really all I have with that. I listen to just those songs. I don't listen to this vinyl at all. Like I'm saying, I listen to straight up movie scores because I love the background noise, but I like to actually listen to the musical cues and shit. Next up, we have the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World original motion picture soundtrack. I don't listen to this one at all, and it's because the pressing is garbage. It sounds so bad. The audio is really bad. I don't know who pressed this. I have to get another copy, but I was very, very disappointed when I listened to this. Edgar, if you're watching this, this company's not doing right. It's unfortunate that that's the situation I'm in with it, but what are you gonna do? Next up, we have the Sister Sledge We Are Family LP. This is interesting that I own this one, but every song on this is awesome. It's a really good LP. A lot of good songs on here. Sister Sledge is one that I recommend if you love. Listen to that soul in here, like How I Dance to It, you know, like Chris Hemsworth in Bad Times at the El Royale. You gotta really listen to this because it is good. And if you have it on Spotify or anything like that, I listen to it on there too. It's great. Next up, we have the Supertramp album, which has Goodbye Stranger, The Logical Song, the only two that you will ever listen to with this album. Every other song you don't really listen to, just Goodbye Stranger and The Logical Song. Next up, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles double LP from Waxwork. This one sounds great, and I picked up the Donatello variants, so it's the purple and green. If you get the Ninja Turtle variants, you will get either orange, blue, red, or purple, and you will get a green with that. They also have Casey Jones, April O'Neil, The Foot, Master Splinter. They have a lot of different variants for this, but Michelangelo, Donatello are sold out from what I know, so I happen to have the Donatello. Beautiful. It sounds great, the artwork is gorgeous, and it's the first time it's in any format. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Next up from Mondo, we have the Thoroughbreds LP. This is a 1LP, and it's on a black and white, like checkered vinyl, because as you can tell, these are two horses on there. On the back, you have the track list for the majority of the songs. This one is not bad, but at the time, I thought it was gonna sell out, so I picked it up during a sale where they had free shipping at Mondo. This is when I first started at a position at Universal called Show Control, so I picked this up on my training day, and that's how I remember this particular one. It's very interesting. I remember certain vinyls by certain situations, and so this was one of them, but I don't listen to this one as often, but it's still good to own. Next up, we have the Toto Africa. It's not the Africa album, but it's just like, that's the only song I listen to on this. I have nothing to say about this one, to be honest with you. I thought I would have more to say about it, but no, it's just a fucking kick-ass song. It's the album I never have listened to, period. Next up, we have the double LP of Trick or Treat by Waxwork. They were releasing a lot of their albums on sale. I picked this one up. It literally got here the next day after I ordered it. So they probably had a lot of these in stock. And it shows because this album does not sound good. There's just a lot of crackling in it. It's very dusty. I tried cleaning it and it just wasn't going through. This pressing is not great. And then I don't know, it's just, I got super upset when listening to this. They don't even tell you if it's 33 or 45. And I didn't know that with the side D, you had to bump it up to 45, so it sounds like a lot smoother. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but it sounded a lot normal in 45 than 33 with the side D portion of the LP. But this one doesn't sound great. I think only side C is the best sounding part of this entire double LP. So it's very unfortunate that that's how I ended up dealing with this, and especially on my first listen. Overall, this is not the best one from Waxwork, but at least they have a lot more better releases that make up for it, like Night of the Living Dead. And one of the final LPs that I have at the moment is the Won't You Be My Neighbor LP. This was pressed only 500 copies. I happened to pick this one up. It sold out in like 3-4 hours. It is a gorgeous sounding LP. It sounds, honestly, it sounds incredible. It's so good. This is one of the best ones I've owned from Mondo in a while. And it's because of the fact that they just pressed it so well. Like, it sounds so good. Especially even the Fred Rogers songs. I love it. It's one that I didn't expect to like as much, but I actually really love it. It's a good release. And with all of these releases, I kept almost all of the sleeves that come with it. Like, I'm really surprised that I've kept all these. Like, it's just all of them over the years, you know, that I've collected from the past times. Most of them from Death Waltz and Mondo, because they usually have these sleeves. And I usually keep all the stickers that come with the actual wrapping. So, you know, that's also great to own. From Halloween 3 all the way up until Night of the Living Dead, they kept those. And now I'm going to show you my 7 inches and LPs. The first one we have here is the Sufjan Stevens Mystery of Love, Call Me By Your Name. 12-inch, this has Mystery of Love and then Visions of Gideon and Feudal Devices Doveman remix. This is a great one. It's pressed on clear vinyl. I have to pick up the Call Me By Your Name soundtrack on vinyl at some point because I love that soundtrack, but to have the Sufjan Stevens songs, well, that's just a huge plus. Next up from Mondo, we have The Last of Us Part 2 7-inch with Little Sadie performed by Crooked Still, my bad. And The Last of Us Cycles with Gustavo Santaolalla doing one of the tracks. This is a preview of The Last of Us Part 2 before it comes out. It came out when E3 was around this year, and it sounds great. I listened to the Crooked Still song over and over and over again. It's a great song, so I would recommend getting it if you can. I don't know if they're still selling it or not, but if you can, I'd go for it. Next up, we have the Florence and the Machine, Sky Full of Song and a New York Poem for Polly. This is the 7-inch that you would get at the Record Store Day 2018 that I also picked up. I picked up a couple of 7-inches when I was at Record Store Day, but this is one of them. It has the New York Poem on the front, and then on the back, it's the actual cover. It's a backwards one, which is weird, but it's made really well. It sounds really good. I don't listen to this one at all. I picked it up thinking it was gonna be worth it. The Sky Full of Song though is really good. The poem is just her talking about said poem. But yeah, next up we have the Led Zeppelin Rock and Roll and Friends 7-inch. This sounds good. It's, you know, it's Led Zeppelin. It's previously unreleased songs that are like kind of a different mix. Next up we have the Beaver and the Trappers, Happiness is Heaven and In Misery. This is one that nobody got that is actually a really good 7-inch. Like, I'm surprised nobody picked this up. It sounds great. I've listened to it like 4 or 5 times. This is a great 7-inch to own. I love it. Hell, it's pressed on this clear, translucent yellow vinyl that no one bothered to get. And since I have the little attachment with my record player, I can actually listen to said vinyl, which is really great. See, this is the problem. Once I take a vinyl out, it's really hard to put them back in. It happens every single time, although I did not know that I had a sleeve with it. I totally spaced out with that. This is very embarrassing, so now I gotta do this. You get to watch me do it. Success. And last but certainly not least, we have the Fleet Foxes 7-inch from Record Store Day, the In the Morning Live in Switzerland, and Crack Up, the choral version. I picked this one up not thinking really anything of it. I listened to it and it sounds it's a very soft kind of song, very quiet. Both of them are, and they're very soothing, very relaxing. You know, this is one of those that you don't expect to get, but it just sounds really great. That is pretty much it. That is all of the vinyls that I own up to this point. It's a little crazy. I didn't expect to have all of these over time, but now that I do, it's very, very nuts. And I'm just very happy that you guys have come along on this journey. It's very awesome that you all watched this video because it was a long one. I'm surprised that I got through each individual vinyl, and if you all still stuck around, well, great. I didn't have any music behind this at all, and I just went off the cuff as best as I could. I really wanted to talk about these vinyls in the way that I know. That's basically just, you know, shooting the shit with it. This isn't the best video that I've done in a very long time, but I wanted to just try again and test the waters to see whether or not this would go well. If you liked the video, well, give it a like. If you liked it, let me know so that way that I can make improvements, how you felt about it. You know, I want as much feedback as you can give me because not every video is perfect. This is not going to be the best one that I make, so it's very nice to hear the critiques from people. That is my #1 thing with this. So if you like it, great. If you didn't, well, that's what the critiques are for. And if you want to have me get any vinyls at all, if you have ones that you would recommend to me, put them in the comments down below. I'd be happy to read every single one that you guys give me. I go to Amoeba every now and then, and that's just to kind of browse, but if I see something I like, I'll pick it up. I have other vinyls that are not in this because those are not the important ones. These are the important ones. These are the ones that I have listened to and I like, and some of them that I listened to once and I thought that was enough. When you buy vinyls, you kind of have to just go off of what you think, and so there's going to be a lot of blind buys, and I've gotten a good amount of blind buys because of these vinyls, and I will always be very appreciative of that because I've listened to a lot of new music over time. Night of the Living Dead, Drag Me to Hell, all of these before I even Hellraiser. Vinyls to me are a very great way to listen to music, both music you listen to now and old music from back then. There's a reason why that it was made at that time, and the reason why it's still living now. People love physical media. They still want to have it with them. They want to be able to listen to things in the moment, in the now. And this is one of these particular formats, one of these mediums that I will always listen to no matter what, and I will still be collecting them to this day. It's something that I absolutely love to do. It's one of my favorite hobbies, and I'm glad that I have a job where I'm able to pay for this stuff to listen to it. And it's amazing, and I'm very, very grateful. I'm very grateful for everything, from the music all the way to this job and everyone. So yeah, it's just nice. I'm happy about that. Thank you all so much for watching. Once more, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below. And don't forget to comment. Again, comments are great because I'm able to just get your feedback and tell me what you thought. I don't really know when another video is. If I'm inspired in some way, I will do it. That's pretty much it. That's really all I got. I'm just gonna put these back and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my night before I go back to work tomorrow, as life is and does with that. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. I have no idea what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something pretty cool. Thank you so much and take care. Bye.